This episode is brought to you by High Point Market. Welcome to the Design Dash podcast, your guide to designing a life you love. Join us as we explore the keys to living the life you want without compromise.
Welcome back to the Design Dash podcast. I'm Laura Umansky, your co-host, here with Melissa Grove. Hello. And we are continuing with our one question. So this episode's question is, what are the top 3 ways to get new clients? So if you're looking to fill your pipeline, we're halfway through the year. We're looking at the end of this year into next year, really getting great clients. What are the best ways to do that? On the flip side, what are you doing that is not helping you bring in new clients that may be doing other things for your business, but isn't that? It's not for bringing in new clients. So let's kick it off. Give us one way, Melissa. What's one way to get a new client right now?
I think, and people aren't going to like this because I hate this, and that is networking, getting out there with builders and architects and understanding what is in their pipeline right now. What are they working on? Because they can refer that client to you quickly. You could close somebody in the next 2 weeks. But of course, that requires hitting the pavement, taking somebody to coffee, reaching out, and of course, making time in your schedule to do it. But anytime that we've done that, we kind of try to do it in a great big push. Clear our schedules for a week or two, meet with some people, and it always elicits a meeting.
Always. Something is going to fall out of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so by networking, so you said going to coffee or whatever, but we treat it like a big push, like a campaign.
Yeah.
So if we were building a builder, I would call it a builder outreach campaign because I got to have some name attached to it. What would that look like? Like, how do you build this campaign?
Well, I mean, we actually have a list of all of the builders that we've ever worked with in the 20 years that we've had this business, and also builders that we would like to work with. There might have been builders that we've encountered in the past during bid negotiations, but have never gotten to work together. We'll see them at events. We're friends with them. We've just never had that chance before. And so I like to keep a running list because the networking is twofold. So there's always the reach out. Hey, I saw that you guys won an award or something really cool happened, or let me share something really cool that happened about us. I want to take you to coffee. Or we send them a nice little gift around the holidays, just especially if we worked with them within the year and would love to work with them in the next year. It's really good to stay top of mind that way. So I think create that list, first of all the builders that you've worked with and architects and really anybody who you think that shares your client base and can refer a client to you. And then think about a gifting plan. We try to do it at least once a year. We've done it a couple of times a year in the past. And then just reach out to them.
Yeah. And I find that even if you're a newer designer or newer firm, maybe you've worked with 2 builders. What I like to do is look at those builders and say, okay, what do they have in common? What do I like about them? Why is that builder a good fit for me and my firm? And then I'll research builders that are similar. And that could be anything. Like that could be a Google search. It can be a ChatGPT prompt. Like, give me a list. These are the 2 builders I love working with. Who else in my area is similar? Of course, you have to check that because you may get something random back from a AI agent, but it's a good way just to kick it off. And so you can build a list of 10 people. I'm a big fan of the random pop in with some cookies and, hey, I'm Laura. If I haven't met them before, let's say this is cold outreach. You may get a gatekeeper at the front desk, the receptionist or an office manager that you may not get to the builder, but it doesn't matter because those people that are frontline also have sway. So if they know who you are, that's not a bad thing. So pop in with some cookies. I'm Laura. I am an interior designer. I saw that you guys just won this award, like Melissa said. That's really cool. I think we share a client base. I would love to go to coffee or, coffee. Lunch is too long. Go to coffee.
Right.
I'd love to go to coffee and just, talk about what we have in common, whatever. We're not dating. So, talk about business. And I think not everyone's going to take you up on that. But if you go out to 10, someone will, for sure. And it's all about timing. So they may not have a
True.
project right this second. That's okay. They may have one in 2 weeks, a month, 2 months. Then they're going to think of you. They may have one that just came in the door yesterday that they're like, oh my gosh, this is great timing. I would love for you to take a look at this project. So it's all about being top of mind.
100%.
So I think that's a big one. So builder, architect, realtor networking. So industry, B2B networking.
Yeah. Yeah, and I
Okay.
think that's just one of the things that's immediate because there's so many things that you can do from a marketing perspective that'll get you leads, but not immediately.
Not a
Um,
project. Yeah.
yeah, it's not gonna get you a project immediately like getting in front of somebody will.
So that's the builders. So one of my favorite things too, which we do a couple times a year, is client outreach, past client outreach. So this is assuming you've been in business at least a couple of years and you've done some projects. But it could also just be your network. So I don't know, your local PTA, a mom's group, your country club, whatever it is, wherever your clients are, doing that direct to the homeowner outreach. But again, this is not placing an ad. This is talking to them one on one. How do we approach that?
Well, so with clients, I mean, it's honestly very similar. So gifting is such a big deal for us at the firm. So every holiday, every client, past and present, and sometimes even future, if they're in the pipeline
Mhm.
and we think that they're really good, gets a holiday gift. I know you, Laura, you also reach out to them every once in a while, maybe at the beginning of the year, sometimes in the
Yeah,
spring,
usually around spring. Uh-huh.
reaching out to
Just
them.
a handwritten note.
Yeah, and we've sent them, books and, for summer, like big summer reads. I know that everybody's going out on vacation, but we've also hosted events too. We had a 15-year anniversary party a few years ago, invited every single past client. It was so good to just see people. And then of course people will come back and say, "Hey, you know what? I just bought a vacation house or I just bought a beach
Yep.
house. It's so nice to see you. Do you want to take a look at the beach house?" I think that's what happened the last time.
100% we do.
I was like, "Yeah,
Um,
sure, of course we do." So, again, I think that is the hard part. When you need clients immediately, you have to get in front of somebody.
yeah.
Like, the other things won't work. Or you can always post to Instagram. I mean, for us, like, we get really wonderful clients from Instagram, especially when we're posting new projects, but it's a long lead time, it could
Yeah. Yeah, I like that direct to past client or potential client outreach. Whether, like I said, it's a handwritten note or a little gift like a book or something like, hey, here's your beach read for the summer.
Mhm,
Or let's say I was talking to one of our members earlier and she goes to Round Top every year to shop at the antiques fair. And so she's going to reach out to her clients and say, hey, I'm going to Round Top. I'm going to be thinking about you while I'm there. I'm going to text you. But in the meantime, is there anything that you need that I should keep a lookout for? So there's
yeah,
like a call to action there. I always love a referral call to action. If we need immediate clients. So if we're reaching
yeah,
out to past clients, we can say, hey, do you have a project? We're taking on new projects for the fall. Or if you have a friend, we loved working with you. If you have a friend just like you, we'd love to meet with them. And so we will say that too. So I think it's making that ask, like it can feel really uncomfortable.
yeah,
It's fine. Just ask. Ask for the referral.
yeah. Most people are
Um,
happy to give it. They really are.
yeah. So, okay, those are two ways to get like more immediate clients that actually work. So, past client outreach, builder industry outreach. What about opening a storefront? I don't think that's immediate, but it definitely converts clients.
Yeah, I mean, it has for you. Isn't that how you found your first client ever?
Yes. I mean, my best client, some of my best clients came from our storefront. Yes. So, I mean, I'm a big fan of opening a storefront. There are other people in our design community and the Design Dash community that have done this and been super successful with it.
Mhm.
I think it works. It is an investment
For
in
sure.
time and finance. So you are really committing to growing your firm if you're opening a storefront.
Yeah,
And it's a big, there's just a lot that goes into it. But my best clients have come from that.
yeah.
So if you want excellent clients that see what you can do, it's a great way to do it.
And what were some of the things that you carried in the store? I mean, you didn't have, I mean, you weren't a huge retailer. You don't have to be that.
No, I had about 1,500 square feet of retail space. And I had a few pieces of large upholstery or like case goods. So I did have a few pieces of larger furniture. I even had a bed, like a full size canopy bed on the floor. Like I had room for that. Some beautiful lighting, but a lot of gifty things, especially up front. So people felt really comfortable just walking in.
Sure.
They didn't feel like I've got to walk in and buy a canopy bed. They were like, oh, I can walk in and buy a candle, or I can walk in and buy a cocktail table book. So it was a mix of those things. I would say the most difficult thing is that you have to turn over your inventory to stay interesting. Um, so just beware. Turning over inventory can be expensive. Like you may not sell that canopy bed ever unless you just have a project for it and you place it on a project, which I actually did quite a bit of the time. But yeah, storefront is a whole other situation. What you can also do if you have a location, storefront or office, studio, is host events.
Hmm.
Um, we got so much publicity from events, and we could invite our like you said, invite your clients, invite potential clients. They come, and it's all about also, like, legitimizing yourself.
Yeah.
So they see like, "Oh, I'm having a party. I've got people showing up. You're legit. I like spending time with you. Yeah, I wanna work with you." So I think opening a storefront could really work for you.
Yeah.
Caveat, expensive.
Yeah, it's a lot, but I know that there are, we speak to a lot of designers, and everybody always has this question, "Should I do it?" There's something really tempting about it. As you mentioned, we've had community members do it really successfully, so it's
Yep.
something that thinking about. It is a way to get good clients pretty
Yep.
immediately.
This is a whole other episode on how to open a storefront. But there's so many things that go into it. So you budgeting for inventory, for rent, runway for at least 6 months, probably just to
Yeah,
pay your rent, and all of your utilities until you're really up and running. So there's just a lot to think about. But yes, it could be a good option. So
absolutely.
top three ways: um, builder outreach, industry outreach, client outreach, and then opening a storefront, but really you could have some parties, like have events
Yeah, anywhere.
anywhere. Anywhere. Go partner with an art gallery. You
Yep.
don't have to open your oown storefront to have an event, but
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, you could do it at a vendor showroom even. They were more than happy to have some
oh,
of your clients in there.
100%. Like a beautiful showroom would love to have your people there. Just partner with one that does it really well that you trust.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are the things that we know work. What about the things that don't work for getting new clients pretty quickly? But
I mean,
not to say they're not useful.
yeah, I mean, everything is useful for the right person, and some of the things that haven't worked for us could work for other people too. But when it comes to getting a client right now, print ads are not going to do that for you. And of course, just anecdotally for us, we have gotten clients from print ads, really, really good ones. But I think about a great client of ours. She saw you, I think, in some kind of advertorial.
Yep.
It was 3 years that it took the time that she saw you in a magazine to then finally having a project, right? And reaching out to you in order to do it, 3 years. So definitely not immediate at all.
Yes. Like if you're placing an ad this month, do not expect a client to come in the door from it.
Right.
If they do, amazing. That is a miracle. I just think it is so unlikely,
Because
because
they haven't
ad
developed anything with you yet, right? It's
right.
one they've seen you
It's a
once,
static
maybe.
image on a piece of
Yes, and
paper
that's it. Like,
amongst many other static images.
the thing about having an event, right, is that somebody can then see you. And the other things that we talked about before were builders that clients that you already have. They've already developed this relationship with you, so you're not selling yourself so much. You're just being available when they have a project. Because one of the
Yep,
things about marketing is
top
that
of mind.
it doesn't generate need. You could market as much and spend as much money on it, but if somebody doesn't need you to work on their house right now, it's not gonna matter. You can get in front of them as
Mhm.
as many times as possible. The thing with print ads is you have to be really consistent with it, in order for them to work. So
Yeah,
one print
one
ad
print
here or there.
ad isn't gonna do it.
No, you and which is why a lot of the local magazines will sell you a package of 12, so you're there every month because people just have to see you that many times before they wanna work with
Hmm.
you.
Yep. What about these kind of like neighborhood magazines or golf community magazines? We get calls from like the private jet terminal magazines. What do you think of those?
I like the locals because we can feature clients in them. We can feature their homes, especially if they're selling them, or if they like we've done this with clients before. They were promoting something, and we were able to get in a local magazine together. I do think that the communities actually read those. They do get delivered to them.
Yes.
The golf community mags or like the private jet magazines, they're really expensive for what you get, and I've never been able to clearly evaluate who their audience is. I don't know what their reach is necessarily. And of course,
Yeah.
it's not super comfortable for me. I don't golf. And I think one of the great things about, having your own business and marketing that business is you should be able to do the things that you want to do. And so if you're forcing yourself to outside of your comfort zone just to do marketing, that's never worked for me.
Yeah. So if you are a golfer, advertise in your country club magazine. You're there anyway. They're going to see you face to
Exactly.
face and they're going to see you in the magazine. So, like, yes, that's doubling up. Um, but yeah, a print ad is not an immediate turnaround for a client. You don't put a print ad in August and get a new client in September.
Yeah.
Typically, that's just not going to happen. But like, we had a very excellent client come back 3 years later that had ripped out I don't know if it was an ad, an article, or an advertorial, whatever it was, in a local magazine, ripped it out, held on to it. 3 years later, excellent client. So if you have the runway, it's great for branding and it's
Yeah.
great to capture a really great client later. Okay. Another one that I had on my list for what doesn't work for getting a client right this second is brand ambassadorships.
Yep.
And so if you're not familiar with what this is, it's working with a vendor, working with a manufacturer, and promoting their product as a designer. So like maybe you partner with a lighting manufacturer and you're just like, I am a brand ambassador for XYZ lighting and I love working with them and I use them in my projects. And maybe you get a little discount for using them
Yep.
in your projects. Could be. It doesn't get you clients necessarily.
Mhm.
So what's the benefit of doing like that ambassadorship?
I think one of the things you have to realize, like, especially if it's to the trade, clients aren't going to see that brand anyway, you know? So take a look at who their audience is before you want to work with them. But I would say just reset your expectations. I would never go into a brand ambassadorship wanting immediate leads. You're just not going to get them. But if you want to develop your relationships in the industry, maybe you need a little bit of help with marketing. Maybe they can provide you with products, they can help you with the photography, uh, and then you can post some things on your social media. Another thing that they can do as well is they'll take some of your photography and reshare it. So a lot of it is really about brand awareness for you. A lot of it is the marketing too, just to have actual assets and materials. But again, it's very much a long game, and it's more so to develop a relationship with that particular brand than it is to get clients, which for a lot of designers, that is a goal. Obviously clients is one as well. But I know so many designers who love speaking engagements or they love helping out the industry, and a brand ambassadorship is a really good way to go there.
Yeah. Yeah. So the last two things we talked about are more brand building, brand awareness, not client capturing.
And they're two different things.
Two very different things. Okay. So another thing that we're doing right now actively, but we don't expect it to even give us one client at all, is a show house. So I have a love-hate relationship with show houses. I think they are so fun because you can really stretch your creative muscles or whatever. Like you really can. You can most of the time really be pretty out there with your creativity and like go for it. You don't have a client on a show house. So it's great for that. And then whoever is putting the show house on is going to have a really strong marketing plan for the show house, and for the designers involved sometimes.
Yeah.
So there are some benefits to doing it,
Oh, yeah.
but It can be expensive. You will be paying for it.
It could be six-figure expensive. Yes.
Depending on what show house you do, can be very expensive. So anywhere from, I don't know, 5 grand to 200 grand. I don't even know the range. It would be quite a bit. So show houses can be expensive. You may get a print ad for that. Like the show house, whoever puts it on may buy a package of ads in a local magazine and you get a page, something like that. So there could be some return in that regard. Um, but when the show house opens, like that's ultimately what we're going for. Show house opens and we are there on site talking to people coming through. What do you think about those people becoming clients?
Rarely. Well, let's get real.
Let's deal.
It won't. I mean, a lot of the people who attend the show houses aren't going to buy that house. That you just there's going to be one person who buys that house, right? So, a lot of those people are they're just design aficionados who are going to attend. They're not. It's not a real estate opening. So
Yeah,
that's why I would go into it thinking about the marketing again, thinking about the brand awareness.
branding.
I
Yep,
would get my own photographer and shoot every inch of that room, and capture every bit of the process, all of your mood boards, every single meeting or charrette that you've had, all of that becomes content. So I do think that show houses can be really good for that, especially for emerging designers who are just like, hey, you know what? Somebody's reached out to me to do a show house. I'm not sure what to do. Keeping in mind that it is an investment, but you can also borrow a lot of it as
yep,
well. Um, and so that's a good way for you to just get in front of the maybe more local vendors in that community, depending on where the show house is. The show house that we're doing right now is in Houston. So we can, work with people that we've always worked with, which is
beg, borrow, and steal for that show house.
yeah.
Not
And,
steal, but
we just had a speaking engagement on it. That was not for the public. It was for other designers, of course, because sorry to say it, but the public doesn't care. Like
right,
they want to tour a beautiful house, but they might not really care about the process unless they want to be a designer themselves. And then they're not your client.
right.
But we were able to take a ton of photo and video for that and share it and got a pretty good response. And of course, you're just getting out into the community and meeting other designers. And obviously, we love meeting other designers because we have Design Dash too, but I love it because if we get a client, we can't take them on, like we're on a wait list right now. I love being able to refer that client to somebody I know and trust
Someone we
who did a
know.
really good job. So
Yep,
it's good for that too. Because I hate saying no to a client, but if I can say no, but you can work with this other person maybe if they're
yep.
free. It's a really good experience for everybody all around.
Yeah, I agree. And a show house, I don't know. I think, yeah, like you said, it's great for content. I think it's also really great for team building too. If you
Oh
can work,
yeah,
if
yeah,
you have a team, if you have a team in your firm, or even if it's just like two of you, it's really fun to work on a show house with a team member because
yeah,
you can dream big and be collaborative and maybe let them cut their teeth on a project that doesn't affect a client. So that's kind of great too for training purposes.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so a show house isn't a no, but it's a no for getting new clients. You're just probably not going to. That's not to say it won't ever happen. It's just I've done a handful, I mean, maybe 4 or 5 show houses in my career over 20 years. I don't know that I've ever gotten a client from a show
Yeah.
house.
And I think that
Um,
you can. You totally because I mean, I know designers who have done it and they're like, "You know what?
I do too.
I signed 2 people," and I think that's great, but I wouldn't go into it with that being your number 1 expectation,
Yeah.
to anticipate that you're going to get clients.
Branding, it's content, it's creativity. That's what it is. And
Absolutely.
supporting a great cause sometimes.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's tied to a charitable cause that's really wonderful. So that could be good too.
Yep.
Okay, so that is our 3 ways to get new clients. What works? 3 things that don't work to get new clients, but they could still be useful. Yeah, so if you have any other ideas that have worked for you to get new clients right away, we would love to hear from you. So do reach out. And yeah, that's all we got for today.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for listening. Make sure to check out our next podcast coming live next week on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. In the meantime, you can find us and more wonderful stories like these on designdash.com. And make sure to follow us at Design Dasher on Instagram and TikTok. Till next time.